Hello everyone, and what's going on? Today I will be telling you how to marry Sumi from Kagurabachi, and this is by me, Kagurabachi. Now before we get into this foolproof tutorial by me, which has a 100% success rate by the way, I have to lay down a foundation. Now foundation starts with string theory. So string theory, if you don't know, is basically this thing where the entire universe is covered and entangled by these tiny little strings. It's all connected by tiny little strings that give off different frequencies, and those frequencies give us things like electrons and protons and all that other fancy stuff in science. And what those frequencies also do is give us the possibility of a multiverse. Now you guys know what the multiverse is. It's just a bunch of parallel universe, all that mumbo jumbo. It's pretty simple. Parallel universe similar to our own, but slight differences here and there, or drastic differences. It depends on what universe you go to. And within those universes that you go to, you could find an infinite amount of possibilities, like Spider-Man existing, or Lee from The Walking Dead surviving, or you could find Kagurabachi. Now I know what you might be thinking. Oh my god, how do you even find Kagurabachi even if it did exist in the multiverse, because the multiverse is so big? Have no fear, I got you. Nowhere. Anyways, pinpointing a location is actually pretty easy. First of all, you want to take the first chapter of Kagurabachi. You see it has a 1 right there. The 1 right there, that is the first part of the Earth that it is on. Then we look at the date it was released. September something 2023. I don't remember, but we'll find out right here. Earth 17192023. That is the Earth Kagurabachi is on. We take the first number of the first chapter, and then we add the date behind it. Boom. Earth 17... I already said it. I'm not saying it again. That's too many letters. Now I know what you also might be thinking. Okay, we have the location, but how do we get there? Have no fear, dude. I know how to get there. So first of all, multiversal travel is actually quite simple because we see it in the Flash. So the Flash, we just need to copy his powers. And how do we copy his powers, you might ask? Well, first of all, you need chemicals, you need lightning, and then you need a particle accelerator with dark matter. Put those 3 together, boom. The Flash. It's quite simple. I don't know how you didn't think of this in the first place. You combine those things, you become the Flash, then you start going around the multiverse and making friends, and then finding Kagurabachi land. Now you gotta remember, Kagurabachi is located in Japan, and we gotta get to Japan somehow, right? I mean, you don't want to go... I mean, if you already have super speed, sure, you can just run to Japan, but wouldn't it be so much easier if you just landed there? Well, have no fear. We're gonna find it. So now, Japan, or Kagurabachi is located in Japan, but Japan's a pretty big place. Let's try and get a little closer to Sumi. How do we get closer to Sumi, you might ask? Well, we know that in one part of the locations in Kagurabachi, we go to Kyoto. What are Kyoto's coordinates? That right there, 35 degrees north latitude, 135 point a bunch of letters east longitude. If we go to those coordinates, we will land in Kyoto. Then we're right there, right one step closer to Sumi. Now that we have the coordinates and can land in Kyoto, one step closer to Sumi, we have to look out for another thing, and that thing goes by the name of Akamura Soga. So you gotta remember, Akamura Soga, he's kind of being an asshole right now. He's being a little bit of a bitch, I'm gonna be honest, okay? He's trying to kill a bunch of people that he thinks are evil. Even if they're good guys, he still wants to kill them because he can't get off his high horse. But we gotta, and now everybody's in hiding right now. And it's kind of annoying. It really gets in the way of trying to find Sumi because she's hiding away. And it's even harder to find her because she's a ninja. So that's double hard. Now she's hiding from this psycho person that's killing everybody. And on top of that, she's a ninja. So she knows how to hide. So how the hell are we gonna find her? I mean, we can't just call out her name. She's gonna think we're working for Akamura Soga, trying to get a quick payday or something. We gotta be on our high guard. So we gotta look for Sumi. We gotta somehow find her while she's hiding from this psycho, who we also should probably hide from because we're technically gonna be working with somebody that's also working with the enchanted sword bearers. So he's gonna be like, hey, what are you doing there? Hey, you trying to hide the sword bearers? I'm gonna kill you too. You trying to get with somebody? You trying to get with Sumi? I'll kill you, you little bitch. So you gotta be like, oh my gosh, no, please don't kill me. So you gotta keep hiding from him while also trying to find Sumi. But you can't hide from him too much because then you won't find Sumi. You gotta stay on the run. And where are you gonna find Sumi in the first place while she's hiding? Well, don't worry, I had it thought out. Violence. These guys are always fighting people. They got a fight boner all the time. Every time they're always fighting somebody. So every time you hear violence, you go to that location and you see what the violence is. And remember, they're in a world where they can't live and with no evildoers because Akamura Soga is gonna kill them. So most likely Akamura Soga is gonna be fighting there, but that's okay, because Sumi might also be there. You want to look out for two things: violence and a motorcycle revving, because we know she drives motorcycles, I'm pretty sure, a lot. So if we hear a motorcycle, we hear violence, we find Sumi. Now the next part is gonna be a little difficult, because it can be a little scary, this next part, okay? So we gotta put ourselves in harm's way when we do find where Sumi is fighting with her crew. We gotta get near her, and we gotta put ourselves in harm's way so that she can save us. And if she saves us, this sets up a whole nother part that I'll get to. But first of all, you want to get there, you want to jump into immediate combat. Put yourself in harm's way. Make yourself look like a fool. As soon as she's close by, she'll probably be on her motorcycle. She'll drive by. She'll pick you up and put you on the back and be like, "Hey, what are you doing here?" And I'll be like, "Oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing here. Please save me." And then she'll save you. And once she saves you, now you're in the thick of it, and you have to pick up this method that I like to call the Hakuri method. So the Hakuri method is pretty damn simple, and if you know Hakuri, you know how to do it. So it starts off that once she saves you, you gotta be like, "Oh my gosh, what I need in my life is," well, it won't say samurai. You gotta be like, what I need in my life is a beautiful woman. Or actually, don't say that. That might actually push her away. Say, what I need in my life is a ninja. That's perfect. So you gotta say that, and once you say that, that'll stick in her head the entire time. And then you stick by her side, because you need the ninja in your life, and she accepts you for a little bit, but she's still a little bit weary about you. And then in an enticing moment, somebody will try to hurt her, and you'll jump in the way, and you'll take the blow, the life-threatening blow. You'll take that blow, and you'll be like, "Oh my gosh, remember that you saved me, I love you." Well, don't say "I love you," because that might creep her out, but remind her that she saved you while you're on the floor bleeding out, possibly dying. But make sure it's not too strong of a blow so that you don't die, because that will just mess up the entire mission. You just gotta it's gotta be just right. You might want to build up your strength a little bit before you go on this mission. But once you have been knocked out, and you remind her that she saved you, that means you are in the thick of it. And I know I said that you're in the thick of it, but now you're even thicker into it. So now that you're even thicker into it, that means you gotta start building up your own independence, and you gotta show that you can take care of yourself. You don't want to be too dependent on her, because then she's gonna be like, "Yo, get this bitch away from me, bro. He's kind of pissing me off now. I always gotta come and save his ass, man." You gotta show you can also take care of yourself. You gotta show that you have some fight in you. Now I know this is also like, this is what Hakuri did for Chihiro. How could this work for Sumi? Chihiro and Sumi have pretty similar personalities based on my analyzation deductions. So we can assume that this method will also work on her. So now that you have shown that you can be independent and strong without her, while also relying on her for help, that means she will be your ninja. And now you guys have established a bond that you can formulate and have a good time with, and you'll stay by her side for as long as possible. And every time she talks to you, you listen. If she tells you a sad backstory, you listen to that shit, and you make sure you look like you care. If you guys get off a long fight, you get knocked out at the same time, even if you have to fake it. And guess what? When you're waking up from getting knocked out at the same time, you wake up at the same time. Even if you have to fake it, and you gotta pray that she does not wake up before you, because then you can't really fake it. So make sure you're on your guard so you wake up at the same time as her, so you can look like you really got that type of synergy going on. And then you gotta make sure you also hurt yourself a lot. But don't hurt yourself too much, and don't make it obvious that you're hurting yourself, but you want to hurt yourself because she's a healer. So if you're healing her, that means you spend more time with her. And this spending more time with her, that means you can chat to her, and you gotta start, this is when you start raising her up. Now we all have talked to girls before. We know what we gotta say. This Oruha, this right here, this is me right here. That's that representation of me. That's a stand-in, and then that's Sumi right there. We've all talked to girls before. You say the usual thing like, "Hey, how's it going, girl? You like Sonic the Hedgehog? I love Sonic the Hedgehog. What's going on? You know how to go Super Sonic. You gotta collect all the Chaos Emeralds." And then she's gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, wow, you know so much about Sonic. That's so hot." Now, boom. Now you're dating because she fell in love with you. And once you're dating, you're getting a little close. And this is when you're like, hey girl, you want to, like, I don't know, take a bath together or something. And she's like, "Oh my God, a bath? Why are you so bold? Oh my gosh, let's get married." Boom. Now you're married. That's how it is right there. I told you guys I would tell you how to marry Sumi from Kagurabachi. That's how you do it right there. It starts off with Sonic, then you take a bath, and then you're married. Like, what did I tell you? I told you my plan was foolproof. It is super easy, awesome. If you fail, you're a stupid idiot, because this was a foolproof plan. I haven't tested it yet, but I know it's gonna work because I know how to talk to girls, guys. Trust me, this will work every time with almost any girl, but it'll work especially with Sumi. I carefully formulated this plan, especially for her. Now, if you're feeling a little underconfident about yourself, you're a bitch. But I have some alternatives for you, but they're not really alternatives for you. I'm really just showing you how those alternatives won't work, so I can make sure that I really thrust you forward, pause. I can really push you into going after Sumi. So, first of all, wait, hold on. Actually, before we get into that, let me just show you. So, I saw this parallel while I was putting this thing together. It's pretty cool, right? Look, it's these guys. They're like side by side. Looks pretty cool. Okay, I'm sorry. So, alternative one. You could possibly get like a body pillow or something of the person, but however, there's a problem with this one right here. You won't get any emotional connection, and she really won't talk back to you. You'll have to imagine all that, and that's just kind of a pain in the ass. Like, you could, sure, it'll be nice at first, but then over time, it's kind of just like, oh my gosh, you say the same thing, then you start arguing with yourself, then you just realize that you're actually just going crazy, and you can't even really take her out because people are gonna look at you like, oh, why is he bringing a pillow outside? Is he going to sleep or something? That's kind of strange. You're going to sleep at a restaurant. That's even weirder. Oh wait, why is that pillow all wet? And what's all those white stains? Like, come on, guys, we can't do that. So the body pillow plan would not work. Oh, oops, I almost messed that up. So here's alternative number 2. Alternative number 2 is you could go after a cosplayer. We got right here, that's Celebi, that's Mina, and that's Nora Fawn. I actually, off topic here, I like her dance moves a lot. She be going crazy. These guys are always on my For You page. But anyways, we could go after a cosplayer. These guys, I'm not saying these guys in particular, but like a cosplayer in general. However, that cosplayer is gonna have to dress up 24/7, and that's pretty dehumanizing. So that's not gonna work because I'm a good person and I'd never dehumanize another woman just to fulfill my fantasy. So that does it. The foolproof plan to how to marry Sumi from Kagurabachi. This is a first come first serve thing, so I'm going to be going after this first. I'm releasing this late by the time. I'm just gonna tell you guys right now. Spoiler alert! By the time you get to the end of this video, I would have already married her. I'm so sorry, guys. I really just wanted to release this so that you guys know for the future. In case I die and she becomes a widow, you can pick up after me. I don't really know how you're gonna know if I die. Maybe you just wait in that world. By the time maybe if you just wait in that world, you can wait out my death. Oh wait, actually, now that I think about it, you guys could come and kill me. But don't do that. That'd be really weird. Don't do that, guys. Come on. Let me live my life in peace. But I'm sorry, guys. I probably already married her at this point. You guys really just wasted your time here. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. That is the tutorial that you guys won't be able to use because I would have already used it for myself on how to marry Sumi from Kagurabachi. I hope Akamura Soga kills you if you do try to kill me while I'm in my happily married life. So I'm just gonna let you guys know, fuck you if you try that shit. And if you don't try it, thank you. You're a good person. But why did you watch this? Because you kind of just wasted your time if you're not trying to marry her. You're kind of tripping, dude. Are you okay? Did you just want to kill time? Alright, anyways, that's done with this, guys. I'm gonna see you guys later. I love you, Takara Hokuzono. Bye-bye!